The first game of 8 super regional sites, and for the third time in 4 postseasons, it's Florida State and LSU meeting in the super regional round. It just wouldn't be a super regional round without them. The first of our doubleheader tonight, the Noles and the Tigers, UCLA and Virginia Tech to follow. Arizona, Arkansas, Kentucky, Alabama will play tomorrow, along with these 4 matchups, including the #1 overall seed, Oklahoma and Washington, tomorrow night, ESPN 2, Saturday afternoon on ABC. What a thrilling round it's going to be. What a thrilling weekend it will be. What a thrilling night it is for us to kick off the Super Regionals from Tiger Park. Kevin Brown, 2-time All-American, Amanda Scarborough, Jalen Johnson with us shortly, and hey, wouldn't be a super regional round without Florida State and LSU again, would it?
These two teams know each other so well. They've played each other so much, and they have a little bit of history that you gotta love. And when they meet, it is electric. Both of the times before this, it's gone 3 games, and I love that in the super regional round.
And both times the team that won game 1 ended up losing games 2 and 3. Florida State, the winners 3 years ago, went on to win the national title. But this is an LSU team that is battle-tested. #1 strength of schedule in the country, and maybe the #1 defensive player in the country.
Aaliyah Andrews is so good in center field. She's one of the best center fielders in the country. She is a human highlight reel, and it started all the way back in February, earning spots in SportsCenter top 10 with all the catches that she made. That's her favorite right there against Oklahoma State. But all throughout the year, she's been saving hits and saving runs, most importantly for this LSU team, which she's saving runs, but also scoring them.
Not only has she been their defensive leader, but she's their leadoff hitter. She started every game there. She is a terror once she gets on the base. Aaliyah Andrews, the younger sister of A.J. Andrews, the great former LSU outfielder, and living up to the Andrews name here in Baton Rouge. Well, Florida State, a team that gets the 10 seed this year, they have not had the offensive season you might imagine, but they are still overflowing with experience. 5 players who've won a national title.
They have that experience. They have veterans that are all throughout this roster and lineup, and they have these offensive players that haven't quite had the year this year, but they have the potential.
You ready for this?
Let's go.
Super Regionals for the first time in 2 years. Tiger Park is ready. We're ready. Florida State and LSU. First pitch coming up right after this.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Sticky sunny night here in Louisiana. LSU Tigers hosting a super regional. Typically they're on the road in the supers. This is their second highest seed in program history, and they will turn to experience in the circle. Shelby Sinceri, who started the first 2 games of the regionals in the circle for LSU.
Yeah, Shelby Sinceri is a veteran for this LSU team. 2.11 ERA on the year, 11 wins. She'll throw in the mid to upper 60s. Her go-to is her drop and curveball, and also will live more down in the zone with her changeup, but she really can throw to all quadrants, as usually can every Beth Torina pitcher.
And Sinceri, one of those players that actually played against Florida State 3 years ago in the Supers. Florida State lineup presented by Capital One. Kaylee Mudge has moved into the leadoff spot in the past couple of weeks, and this is a lineup for Lonnie Alameda that has had many different variations this year. Cheryl, the third baseman, the all-time ACC leader in doubles, and the power supplied last weekend from Mason and Davis, who combined for 4 extra base hits. Florida State 42-10-1. LSU 35-20 against the nation's toughest schedules. We've waited 2 years for Super Regional Softball. It is underway in Baton Rouge with a first pitch strike from Sinceri to the freshman Kaylee Mudge. 6:05 local time as Terry Holt calls the balls and strikes. Alex Leap at first, Eddie Cooper second, Naomi Erdahl at third. And a ball and a strike for Kaylee Mudge. This was the spot of Kirsten Lander. She was banged up a couple of weeks ago, and Mudge, with some very good at-bats, has taken over at the top of the card. Not the same makeup of Florida State team that we saw 3 years ago when these teams met. That was a Seminoles team that could really bash its way to success behind Jesse Warren, World Series MVP. This team beats you with pitching and defense, but LSU flexes its defensive muscle early. Raylene Gutierrez taking away a hit from Mudge.
Well, Florida State's offense and their dugout has to love the swing by Kaylee Mudge, but LSU has to love the defense by Ray Gutierrez out there in right field, jumping and reaching at the exact moment that she needed to rob a hit from Mudge.
And Gutierrez, who won't play the whole game in right field either. LSU pulls a whole switcheroo. Here's Sherrill with a line drive that sneaks past Taylor Tidwell, the second baseman. And the All-American Sydney Sherrill is aboard, the first base runner of the Supers, on a one-out single.
Yeah, Coach Alameda, the head coach for Florida State, told us that Sydney Sherrill is in a really good spot, had expectations this entire year that she put on herself because she is the All-American at the plate, out on defense, but said that it was a fresh start because of the postseason, be able to clear her mind.
LSU gets together in the circle after the Sherrill base hit. And there is Beth Torino, 10th year at LSU. 4 trips to the Women's College World Series so far. 2012 and then 2015 through 17. Kaylee Harding, the freshman, on the ground to Tidwell at second. She will get the force at second base, get the lead runner there. Tidwell, who's likely not going to bat in this game, is a terrific defender at second base and there for her glove and showing off for route number 2.
You can tell early, Kevin, that Florida State's looking down the zone because that is what Sinceri does, is like to live right at the knees or below, and they're doing a good job of squaring up the ball so far.
Yeah, not a big strikeout pitcher, Sinceri, but a major ground ball thrower. Only about 4.5 strikeouts per 7 in her career, but an ERA of 2.18 coming in as she throws ball 1 to Elizabeth Mason. What a postseason Elizabeth Mason had 3 years ago when Florida State won the national championship. And Mason smacks this one off the glove of Sinceri and into the glove of Tidwell.
Well, I'll tell you what, Florida State is hitting the ball hard, but LSU defense Johnny off this on the spot, Sinceri to Tidwell.
LSU, a regional champion at home a weekend ago, but it took them an extra game. The Raging Cajuns of Louisiana with a 2-0 win in game 1 last Sunday. But the Tigers slammed back. A 5 RBI game accentuated with a plate stomp from Georgia Clark. LSU won it 8-5. That means one more weekend of giant stuffed Tigers here in Tiger Park. LSU hosting a super regional. This is a rarity for them. Just the second time they've done it. 2015, the other, when they swept Arizona. They're going to face a really good pitcher, Amanda. This is one of the best pitching staffs in the country in Florida State, and Catherine Sandercock has been their ace.
Yeah, Kat Sandercock has been so consistent for Florida State this season. Been able to throw her a lot. She's been able to throw a ton of complete games as well. Look at her ERA, 1.15 ERA on the year. She'll be more down the zone with her drop ball, but she has developed a rise ball that gets some good swings and misses and can be a strikeout pitch for her.
And Sandercock will face this starting lineup. It is presented by Capital One. A lot of lefties for Beth Torino, 5 of them. Andrews Briggs and the terrific Taylor Pleasance in her second year, the SEC Newcomer of the Year. Doyle, Clark, and Sinceri really came into their own offensively. Had a lot of home runs, a lot of RBIs a weekend ago in LSU's regional win. Beth Torino feeling like her young team really grew up. Thought that Game 7 was a good experience for them. This was a very hyped LSU team coming into the year. 21-3 in the shortened season, returned almost everyone, but they are young. Andrews, one of their most experienced players, to lead it off. And Sandercock starts her with a strike.
You know, this is a really interesting matchup here with Andrews up at the plate and Cheryl over at third base. Cheryl, one of the best third basemen in the country. Lee Andrews, a slapper who loves to read the defense, specifically loves to read the third baseman.
The ACC Defensive Player of the Year at third, and a ball and a strike to Andrews.
You know, she said, Andrews told us that she has a lot more trust in herself, that she'll read the defense and read the third baseman, whereas before, if she was playing up the line, the third baseman, she'd be scared to lay down a bunt, but now she trusts her barrel control and she trusts her speed to still be able to get down the line and beat it out.
Andrews shows butt, takes outside, 2-1. That's where Cheryl's been camped throughout this at-bat. And she creeps in even closer on 2-1. Very communicative infield for Florida State. Ball 3.
Yeah, you said it. They have a really connected defense. They're constantly talking to each other. They're constantly talking to their pitcher. It's what Coach Alameda, the coaching staff at FSU, just really coached to feel that synergy and connection on the dirt with their pitcher.
The same starting 4 in the infield and the same starting 5, including the catcher now, Shellnut, for all 54 games this year. Andrews takes aim at a 3-1, and the count is full.
Didn't show up on the bug, but that came in at 68 miles an hour. Sandercock throwing with some good velocity.
The third-year sophomore, Catherine Sandercock, first-team All-ACC pick. And Andrews to short, and Josie Muffley, one of the best defensive shortstops in the country, aces her first test.
If you're a shortstop or a third baseman, you just live for these moments to go up against the speed like Aaliyah Andrews and be able to make a great play. Just a routine ground ball to shortstop, but because of her speed, it puts pressure on the defense. She'll do that all game, all series long to Florida State.
Could be a lot of ground balls in this series. A lot of great drop ball action between these pitchers, particularly tonight. Briggs slaps one foul for strike 1. Maybe the hottest hitter in the LSU lineup, Ciara Briggs. Last 19 games has hit .418, 5 walks in that span. Was a team best 8 for 16 in the regional round. Briggs will square, and that is strike 2 as she misses the bunt attempts.
We talked about the Florida State infield, but the outfield will play shifts too. Check out where Danny Morgan, the center fielder, is basically playing that left center field gap. It really opens up the right side of the field, but just anticipating that a slapper like Briggs, and she was there also when Andrews was at bat, they're going to try to hit the ball to the left side.
Florida State team, typically one of the best defensive units in the country. Lonnie Alameda does a great job. Travis Wilson, one of their assistants as well. And right now, Florida State is not beating you with power. They're not beating you by outslugging you. They are winning with pitching, and they are winning with that connected defense.
Yeah, I think when you think about this matchup in both offenses and also the pitching for Florida State, you think this could be and should be a low-scoring game. 2-1, 3-2. Now, of course, the softball gods don't even care about stats or numbers coming into this game, but when you look at the stats, you think that's probably what it should end like.
Seminoles in the regionals allowed 2 runs in 3 games, combined 11-2 in their 3 wins. Kennesaw State once, UCF twice. Briggs swings and misses, and the first strikeout of the game for Sandercock.
70 miles an hour right at the knees. This is her drop ball, and even puts it quite a bit on the plate, but Briggs just swings and misses that. That's the hardest pitch that she's thrown. Listen to the pop of that glove. She is throwing gas.
We've seen Florida State quite a few times this year, and this is, I think, as hard as we have seen Sandercock throw.
Yeah. And as a pitcher, that was my favorite sound, is the pop of the mitt. When your catcher catches it just right and you get a strike and it just it just amplifies in this stadium too.
Lonnie Alameda always chatty with her defense and her pitcher. 13th year for her at Florida State. Has made the regionals every possible season. 8th straight year taking Florida State into the Supers. Last time they were in the Super Regionals 2 years ago were upset at home by Oklahoma State. Taylor Pleasance, redshirt freshman. SEC Newcomer of the Year, Pleasance, who is one of the tallest players in the league and one of the most powerful. 6 feet out of Houston, Texas.
You know, she has such a big presence at the plate because you mentioned she's 6 foot tall, she's left-handed, a power hitter, and she stands right on top of the plate. She does it on purpose. She loves it. She's looking to crowd the plate because she's been thrown so much outside, she told us.
Crowds the plate so much, Pleasance, that she was hit by 3 pitches in the same game last Saturday against Louisiana. 12 home runs to lead the team, 11 doubles a team high, walks twice as much as she strikes out. That is smoked foul, 2-2.
It was smoked. Yeah, she told us, you know, I love taking away that inside pitch. Feels like her crowding the plate gives her an advantage. And she's just such a young player and a player who has such a big presence at the plate at such a young age.
Sander Cox searching for 1-2-3 first. And she might just get it. Ground out, strikeout, ground out. The pitcher is on point in the first inning in Baton Rouge. Florida State is in the Super Regionals for the 8th consecutive season. Combined 11-2 in their 3 wins, beat Kennesaw State once and then UCF twice. This the second run and one more than they would need. In the clinching game Sunday, Sander Cox threw a 1-hit shutout, and the Noles moved on to the Super Regional round. They are here once again. And for more on Florida State's journey, let's check in now for the first time with Jalen Johnson.
Thanks, Kevin. So this has been a very strange and challenging year for everyone with COVID. So at the beginning of the year, Coach Alameda and the Seminoles decided they were going to attack this season with a decision, not a sacrifice approach. So that started with 2 of their super seniors totally deferring all of their post-grad plans. So Cassidy Davis, she had an acceptance into PT school and decided she was going to wait. And Danny Morgan, she was accepted into grad school at South Carolina, so she deferred until next fall. So if you can say buying in, it's these 2 ladies for sure.
And Lonnie Alameda's talked about that, Jalen. You know, at times needing to remind her quote-unquote super seniors, hey, you're putting off real life in a sense. Have fun. You came back to have fun. Don't let the pressures of this year get to you. And she feels like this is a looser team down the stretch.
Yeah, you only get so many of these years and seasons. And at the end of the day, it is sports. It is softball.
It is sport.
So you're supposed to have fun doing it and not to put too much pressure on yourself.
Well, the aforementioned Cassidy Davis to lead it off. Designated player. And that's popped up to Pleasance at shortstop. Just 10 pitches as Sinceri has faced 5 batters.
And you can tell that Florida State's wanting to be aggressive early in the count. Shelby Sinceri, a pitcher who throws a lot of strikes, likes to work from ahead, as every pitcher does, but especially we have 2 head coaches who are both pitching coaches with Coach Alameda and Coach Torina, and their pitchers know how to attack hitters.
Best of 3 series. Winner of this game will be 1 win away from the Women's College World Series. Game times are all the same. 7 Eastern, 6 local tomorrow, and then if necessary on Saturday night. Devin Flaherty, first team All-ACC pick, has started every game at second base for Florida State this year. Last 20 games, been the Seminoles' best hitter by average, .393, second best on base percentage. Hit in 10 of her last 11.
There's that changeup, Kevin. It's one of Shelby Sinceri's best pitches and a pitch that she'll need tonight with the way that Florida State was on time in the first inning against her.
Two and two.
You mentioned the Florida State offense, Kevin, and not being as powerful, and Coach Alameda even told us, like, we've been waiting on the offense all season, and it just hasn't quite been there. But when you've watched Florida State play, you've noticed that they've found other ways to score runs, squeezes, ground balls to second base with a runner at third.
Flaherty on the ground to Tidwell, and out number 2.
So it's guaranteed that Florida State and their coaching staff, they always are able to find ways to win with what they've got. And with this offense, they just haven't had that home run power, a ton of RBIs. They've been able to win those low-scoring games and been able to manufacture runs in a different way than what we're used to seeing.
7th in the country in stolen bases. They've swiped 106. 6 different players with 10 or more steals. Only 1 base runner through the game so far, though, as Danny Morgan stands in, 5th-year senior.
Looked like Aaliyah Andrews asking the umpire at second base, which we do have 4 umpires here at the Super Regional, but she was asking him to move over a little bit so she could see the plate.
Morgan, her counterpart in center, certainly appreciate that. Part of that national championship team 3 years ago, and takes a close one just a little bit down. Third team All-ACC pick. Redshirt senior from Noonan, Georgia. And another pop-up. This will land on a hop in front of Tidwell at second, and Morgan's going to be able to reach.
Sinceri in this inning has been making adjustments, throwing to these hitters and been able to jam them. And this is a jam, just pop-up that just falls right in front of Tidwell. I thought that was in the air long enough that she was going to catch it.
One hop leader for an infield hit. Second base hit for Florida State. Now Anna Shelnut. And Shelnut did swing, strike 1. Whole lot of postseason mileage on this bat. Known as postseason Anna for her heroics. All-tournament team at the World Series 3 years ago. Game-winning home run a couple of years ago to beat Pitt in the ACC championship. That has slowed down the last couple of weeks, but this is the kind of player you can never count out in the month of May. Shelnut pops it up. Long run for the left fielder, Briggs. The shortstop, Pleasance, with an all-out attempt.
Wow. She is so long and can cover so much ground. I thought she was going to look like Aaliyah Andrews out there with the amount of ground that she covered and with how she laid out like Superwoman. Had to run so far for this. And then look at this dive attempt. Oh, she was right there.
Actually,
So
here at the Walt Disney Company, we prefer Captain Marvel. Another pop-up. This should be handled easily, and it is by the first baseman, Clark. A single in each inning, nothing more for Florida State. 2 scoreless for Shelby.
This is the party that every player wants to be at.
It's going to be passionate softball for sure.
Back to crown a national champion for the first time since 2019. They get to chase history here.
It's been more than 700 days, insert Titanic voice, since the last Women's College World Series championship. That was UCLA over Oklahoma. And game 1 of this year's Women's College World Series next Thursday, June 3rd, noon Eastern, 11 Central on ESPN. World Series at 100% capacity this year. To get tickets, ncaa.com/WCWS. Here are your past champions. Florida State, the second most recent champion behind the Bruins of 2019.
maybe the adrenaline will be there. Or I saw some voodoo jerseys that were running around. I mean, 100% capacity. Tickets are on sale. That place is going to be rocking. Can't wait.
This place is rocking right now.
I love that I was wondering who you were waving at,
Yeah,
and I
camera.
noticed the camera.
I always know when I'm in the shot.
Always aware.
Check that one off. That's another hit. 4-5-6 for LSU here. The second, Amanda Doyle is going to kick it off. Doyle and then Georgia Clark, who had big-time regionals. Doyle drove in 7. Clark drove in 6. 1-2-3 first inning for Kat Sandercott, and a swinging strike to Doyle. Senior from Santa Clarita, California. Her on-base percentage second worst of her career. She hasn't walked in 2 months, but her slugging percentage second best of her career. Doyle has hit for a lot of pop, a career-high 10 home runs. And she smokes this one on a hop, knocked down by Flaherty, who has time.
We mentioned the crowd being 100% capacity in Oklahoma City, which is awesome. Of course, we have 100% capacity here, and this is a true definition of home field advantage, having to come in and play in Tiger Park. Look at the amount of people that are here to witness this Super Regional in this game. It's a tough place for Florida State to come into, and they've played very little here.
And they've not faced an environment anything close to this year with the reduced capacity. Strike to Georgia Clark. Something Lonnie Alameda wasn't sure how her team would handle so many freshmen. Yes, there is experience, as we showed you at the top, but there are a lot of young players, first, second year on this Florida State team. And the last 2 times they faced LSU, it's been in Tallahassee.
Which they get great crowds too. But you want the fans to be wearing your colors, not the opponent's colors.
Not a lot of garnet and gold tonight, more purple and gold by quite a margin. Georgia Clark had a big game on Sunday in Game 7, the decisive game of the regionals. Go ahead 2-run single in the first, and then a 3-run home run later in the game. Really put the game out of reach. 5 for 11, 3 walks in the regional round.
Yeah, it's funny. Coach Torina told us the world remembered how good of a hitter that Georgia Clark is with how she stepped up during regionals. And she's had some moments of struggle, but they have continued to put her in the 5 spot because they trust in her and believe in her.
Started the season just 7 for 50, hitting about 300 cents. A lot of power. And a ground ball backhanded by Muffley at short. 5 batters, 4 groundouts induced by Sandercott.
Okay, the 2 shortstops that we have in this game, I just think that it's so cool that they are 2 different sizes. Josie Muffley, who is 5'5". You have Taylor Pleasance, who is 6 foot, if not 6'1". And it just goes to show you can be any size at any position in this sport and make it at one of the highest levels.
Josie Muffley, a former hockey player as well. Toughest kid on the field most nights. Started her career at Tulsa, came to Florida State, and her offensive game, not great, just 212, but a 350 on base. Finds her ways to get on and more than makes up for it in the field. Ray Gutierrez now, and 2-0 for the Tiger right fielder. Gutierrez stepped up 14 times in the regionals, reached base in 8, including a double and a home run. Sandercott on 2-0, misses with ball 3.
I haven't seen her fall behind too much in this game. She's been so good at being aggressive and attacking hitters early.
4 out of 6 first pitch strikes. Only 22 walks on the season. This is her 22nd start.
Now, when she needs a strike, she's going to go to that drop ball, and she can throw it on both sides of the plate. Even that last location, down and in to a left-handed hitter right at the knees, just getting the bottom of the zone. Such a good pitch.
Another ground ball, a slow roller to Flaherty, and Sandercock is living low in the zone. 2 perfect innings for her in Game 1 of the Supers in Baton Rouge. Back to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Here is the bottom half of the bracket. 3 unseeded teams made it into the Super Regional, 16 total. Virginia Tech, one of those, behind the great Keely Rochard. Likely be Rochard and Rachel Garcia. 9:30 Eastern following our game on ESPN. So LSU has this situation they call the outfield switcheroo, where they keep Raylene Gutierrez in the game, but they don't have her in the field the whole time, so they move the outfielders around a lot. Sierra Briggs goes from left to right now, and Savannah Stewart will come into the game defensively to play left. Not sure that she'll even get an at-bat, but Beth Torina likes to switch around. Sometimes Gutierrez will come in to play first for the time being. Basically, they want to maximize the at-bats of Gutierrez, Clark, and Sinceri, who are limited at the positions they can play. Here's a base hit from Josie Muffley up the middle. So Muffley, who's done it defensively all night, takes the first pitch of the third, back up the box.
Look at how she gets her barrel to this inside pitch, clearly going up with a game plan to attack the inner half. It's even a little bit off the plate, and she's still able to get her barrel to it.
That is the 3rd at-bat out of 9 where Florida State has put the first pitch in play. And a couple more times they've swung at the first pitch. Kaylee Mudge will squirt a bunt, and now there's a good chance that the Florida State small ball brigade will begin.
Which is kind of a good approach to attack this LSU defense, a defense that's been susceptible at times. But at the same time, Kevin, that same breath, we've seen this LSU defense make a ton of great plays too, but you just never seem to know throughout the year what you're going to get.
They're much better defensively in the regionals. We saw Texas last week, a team that really struggled throughout the season. They shored up defensively in the regional round as well. Mudge lays it down. Clark will take it to first. Successful sacrifice. 3-4 for Kaylee Mudge. And Muffley is the first runner for either team to get to second. Well, if Lonnie Alameda had her pick, this is the hitter she'd want up with a runner at second. Sydney Sherrill, first team All-ACC selection. And a first pitch attack for her, a slow ground ball to third base. Doyle throws her out. Muffley scampers to third, but there are 2 down.
You know that LSU fans and Sinceri is loving that. The fact that she got Sherrill to ground out on the first pitch, didn't go deep into the count. Defense was able to make a play and got out one of the best hitters in the lineup.
Well, just 28 pitches to 11 batters now, less than 3 per batter. And Sherrill's put both pitches she's seen into play. Kaylee Harding, a first pitch fielder's choice, her first time. And Sinceri goes off speed for a strike. This is one of those tremendous freshmen for Florida State. They've thrown a lot at her, Kaylee Harding. She was playing catcher in the fall. She's played first, she's played third, she's played outfield. Does not get overwhelmed, and Lonnie Alameda time and again has praised what she calls upperclassman level at-bats.
Well, she leads her team in RBI as a freshman with all the big-named hitters that you're so used to being the offensive leaders for Florida State, like Sherrill, Mason, Davis, Shelnut.
One and two. And and strike three. Sunseri pulls the string and strands Muffley at third. 3 scoreless for Shelby Sunseri here in Tiger Park. What a time for Shelby Sunseri to collect her first strikeout. With Josie Muffley at third, 2 outs. Sunseri ends the inning with a K, and she will begin the back half of the inning at the plate in a scoreless game.
Yeah, we got a chance to talk to her too. Just loves the fact that she gets an opportunity to be a pitcher who also is in the everyday hitting lineup. And she said when she was a recruit and looking for a place to play, that was one of her top questions is, if I come to your school, am I going to get a chance to hit? And she was pretty persistent with the fact that that's what she wanted to do. And look, here she is now making that dream happen.
She said a lot of schools did not want her as a two-way player. Her sister Sierra, a lot of schools did not want her as a two-way player. But Beth Torina said, I'm not going to hold you back. And that's proven to be a wise move from the LSU coach. What a career for Sunseri, who way back in the 2018 Supers against Florida State had a hit in all 3 games. 4 for 10, 2 doubles and a walk back then. And a first pitch ball from Catherine Sandercock.
Well, and now she plays with that mentality of all those coaches who told her that she couldn't pitch and hit and be in the everyday lineup. I'm going to prove you wrong. Plays with a chip on her shoulder.
2 home runs in the regionals. And a hard line drive here. Hey, tomorrow night, 3 game 3s in the NBA playoffs, ESPN and ABC. Start with the Knicks and Hawks after an electric Madison Square Garden last night. That series tied at 1-7 Eastern, ESPN. Nets looking to go up 3-0 on Boston after that on ABC. And then the Clippers trying to avoid falling behind 3-0 to Luka Doncic and the Mavs. 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, ESPN. Sunseri, Morgan Cummins, Danica Coffey, the back 3 in the lineup for LSU. 5 groundouts, 1 strikeout induced by Kat Sandercock, who threw a 1-hitter last Sunday.
Yeah, and you've seen the pitch calling with Coach Alameda and Sandercock and Shellnut working together to stay lower in the zone, work her drop ball, which we're used to seeing. But the best part about that, if you are an FSU fan, if you're Coach Alameda, is that you haven't really shown her rise ball yet, saving that for the second time through the lineup, the third time through the lineup too.
Just got a piece.
And she's thrown the most complete games on the FSU pitching staff, and I really attribute that to the development of her rise ball, being able to give these hitters different looks, being able to mix up her pitches and throw to different quadrants. That was a really big goal for her coming into this season, not just to stay on one side of the plate, but to also be able to move up in the zone with her rise. And then also there's a change up there at 51 miles an hour. She worked hard on it though. That's what she did whenever the season ended last season in 2020, whenever it was cut short. She went to work with her dad in their own bullpen in their backyard.
This is where she worked. She told us she wanted to find somewhere to work on tunneling pitches, and this is the bullpen behind Kat's house.
It's pretty sweet, huh?
She said, look, I'm a night owl. My family's filled with night owls. We'll go out there at 10:30 at night. There's her dad, Colin, and we'll go throw a bullpen.
So awesome. What a luxury to have that place in your backyard, getting to spend all those just incredible memories pitching to your dad.
Has gone from the back-to-back player of the year in the state of Virginia, Bishop O'Connell High School out of McLean, Virginia, to a freshman who went 13-0, a redshirt freshman 9-1, and this year 23-2, career 45-3. Sunseri loses the bat on a 3-2 pop-up, and that is off the netting.
You know, the one thing that you know about Baton Rouge in May is it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, and sometimes things will be slippery and slip out of your hands. It's going to go down the dirt and actually take off the batting gloves.
That gets stuck on the screen? Is that where that was?
It did, yeah. I'm sure the fans were freaking out a little bit who it came right at.
10th pitch of the at-bat, leading off the home third. Sandercock to Sinceri. And the LSU starting pitcher works a walk against the Florida State starter. On the 10th pitch, the Tigers' first base runner.
It's a great at-bat by Sinceri.
Team leading 31st walk for her. And Beth Torina's going to make a pinch running move, it appears. Sinceri will re-enter for the fourth after a pinch runner. Taylor Tidwell, who is the starting second baseman, is going to come in. She's in the flex position, so Tidwell can jump in here and run for Sinceri. Teams hand in the lineup card. Either you have the pitcher 10th or you have the flex 10th, the player who's only in the field. And Tidwell is going to come in and run.
A 10-pitch at bat for Shelby Sinceri, and she's been so efficient in the circle.
Yeah, in the third inning, she threw 9 pitches. And at the plate, she just saw 10. Morgan Cummins right to second, and a throw at first. Tidwell is picked off. Flaherty, the second baseman, starts a line drive double play.
On a line drive or a ball in the air, you have to freeze as the runner. Tidwell sees it, it's right in front of her. A mental mistake by Tidwell not to just immediately get back to first base. Florida State with the double play.
All that work to get a base runner, and then in the snap of her fingers, the base runner erased. Danica Coffey, LSU designated player, takes ball one. Well, it only takes the snap of her fingers often for Sandercock, who induces such weak contact, just feels inevitable in the circle sometimes. 1.63 career ERA.
Well, and you go back to the regional with how strong their pitching staff was. Opponents they were 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. That wasn't just in one game, that was the entire regional weekend.
That's 21 opposing innings, 11 at-bats with a runner in scoring position. Coffey to third. Sherrill, the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, to first. No hits allowed for Lonnie Alameda's pitcher. We'll hear from the Florida State head coach coming up. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Championship presented by Capital One. No score through 3. We expected a pitcher's duel, and we're getting one between Florida State and LSU. And let's check in now with Jalen Johnson.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach Alameda, we thought it was going to be a pitching duel here for you guys. What do you want to see at the plate, the adjustments from your team to get going?
Yeah, I mean, she's starting to mix in the changeup a little time, second time through. So we got to either sit one or the other, make her come across the plate. And, a little excitement, probably nerves too. Both pitchers and hitters are getting geeked up. But what a good ball game, what a good atmosphere, having a lot of fun.
You said you weren't sure how your team was going to respond to an atmosphere like this. What are you seeing from them?
Yeah, well, the way they're dancing right now and all the fun fans. And, we're pretty loose, which is awesome, And, they prepared for this moment. You go through the whole season and you find out who you are. And I love that we're owning that right now and just having some fun.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck with the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Jalen, Lonnie Alameda said she told her team, take a look at the crowd this weekend and be thankful for it. When they're yelling at you, that's great. There's 16 teams left. They should be all over you. I mean, this is a little bit new for Florida State. 8 straight super regionals. Most of those are at home. They've won 3 of those previous 7. They've lost 4. And again, the 2018 championship for that great Seminoles team. 5 players remaining from that national title winning team. 4-5-6 against Sinceri. Elizabeth Mason and Cassidy Davis, the first two of those national champion Noles.
Well, and that experience that those 5 players have from playing at the Women's College World Series and making a run to win the national championship, you just can't recreate that at practice. The nerves, the pressure, what you're going to be feeling, just the moments. And you live for that as a player. Get a taste of it here at the Supers, right? But it's still just not the same thing as Oklahoma City, the place that all these players are trying to get a chance to play at.
How long did it take you as a player to get adjusted to each new postseason round?
Ooh, I would say for the Women's College World Series, the first year that we went in 2007, went 2 and out.
Mason Flatley to Pleasance at short, 1 away.
Which actually happens often for teams who have never been there before, because you feel the pressure and everything just tends to speed up and you don't really play your game because it's hard to get comfortable really fast there. But the second time that we went, we made it to the National Championship Series the next year. So a year for, I would say, the majority of teams that haven't been there in a while. But if you have a program who has that experience, it just bleeds all throughout your roster, all throughout your team, to where it makes the younger players not feel as nervous.
5th-year senior Cassidy Davis against the 4th-year junior Sunseri, and ball 1. Davis 2 home runs in the game against UCF Saturday, drove in all 3 runs in the game. Let's check in downstairs with Jalen.
So Cassidy Davis is the gatekeeper of the dugout frogs for Florida State. So they have these little, like, she said they got them from a St. Patrick's Day event. And there are 3 frogs. They have Benjamin, Phoebe, and Benjamin is actually the one that's in her dugout locker right now. And Benjamin has the best record of all the frogs. So it's just a superstition that has come up for this team now.
Yes, the classic combination of names, Benjamin, Geraldine, and Phoebe. Just your run-of-the-mill dugout frogs, Jalen. It was funny talking to Cassidy Davis. We asked her, what is the superstition of this team? And there it is. Was it Benjamin? Is that what we said? Benjamin's the frog today? Hanging over the Casanova nameplate. So if Florida State does not win today, you can bet that Benjamin will be unceremoniously tossed in a pond somewhere, and Geraldine will take over tomorrow.
Well, I feel like this is the perfect place for him to be tossed in the water.
That's right.
With alligators and snakes and all the other things here in Louisiana.
I'm starting to worry for Benjamin now that I consider the factors out there. The lucky frog looking on for Davis. And Benjamin couldn't help her there. Sunseri's second strikeout of the game.
This changeup is going so well for Shelby Sunseri. The pitch that Coach Alameda told Jalen that they're having to deal with right now. That's it. Outside corner, moves down and a little bit away from Davis. They are just not seeing that pitch at all. They're so far out in front of it.
Five in a row retired by Sunseri. Ball 1 to Devin Flaherty. So how do you adjust to that as a team?
Well, it just looks like they're not seeing out of her hand at all. So you can say go up there and sit on one speed, but they're not recognizing it. So maybe you'll have some people in the dugout. There you go.
Flaherty smokes it into right. Adjustment made.
Yeah, she saw it well. The other ones that struck out or got it within their at-bats just thought that they were seeing something 65 miles an hour, and it just totally slowed down to 50. But look, I guarantee you right now, Devin is talking to Alameda and saying, this is what I saw, this is what I noticed, to where I could sit back on it and get on time with it. There's something that she noticed, that she picked up, that she was able to barrel up that ball.
That one gets away from Cummins. Flaherty aggressive to take second. And Florida State, for the second straight inning, has a runner in scoring position.
And the best part about Flaherty barreling up that changeup is that now you put it in the back of Sunseri and Coach Trina's mind of, are they going to barrel up this next one? Do I have to be more perfect with it?
Florida State 0 for 5 with runners on base tonight. 0 for 2 runners in scoring position. A passed ball moves Flaherty to second. Morgan back to Sunseri. Florida State has a hit in every inning. Florida State has left a runner on base in every inning. Beth Torina, the LSU head coach, with us when we return.
Welcome back to Baton Rouge. 0-0 is your score right now. I'm here with Coach Beth Torina. Coach, we've been talking so much about pitching today, and it's showing true to be the story of this game so far. What are you seeing from your pitcher in the circle today?
I think she's doing a good job. I think she's moving it around, changing speeds. I'm happy with her performance so far.
How do you think you guys being at home and this crowd and this atmosphere is affecting how y'all are performing today?
I think it's awesome. I mean, we love being in Tiger Park. We love our Tiger fans. There's no better fans in the whole country, so we're proud to be in front of them today, and hopefully they can give us some momentum and, you know, put the pressure on and help us out.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
Beth Torina felt like her team really grew up. Game 7 at Tiger Park last weekend. The experience of being pushed to the edge against Louisiana. Said, look, it was a young team, never had to do something like that, and she's appreciative of the fact that her team got the 7 seed, gets to have the home fans. A lot of losses for a team that is hosting, but because their strength of schedule was so tough, they get that 7 seed. They're 6th straight super regional, and they're hosting for the 2nd time.
Yeah, they've not been to the Women's College World Series since 2017. And you mentioned that they got that 7 national seed, and when we talked to the coaches earlier in the season or earlier in May, it was a question mark in Coach Torina's head of, are we going to be able to get that top 8 seed because we have so many losses, but at the same time, I hope the selection committee looks at our strength of schedule and how many wins that we still have in that schedule and not just look at the losses.
They played 38 out of 51 games before the regionals against NCAA tournament teams. Maybe not just the #1 strength of schedule this year, maybe the #1 strength of schedule in the decade. They played Alabama in a non-conference series, Texas, Oklahoma State, 4 SEC teams in conference that are in the Supers. Florida, Missouri, Kentucky, Arkansas. Andrews fouls away strike 2. Benefit of that, Beth Torina said, we're not worried about anything. They faced now, after this game, more than half of the teams in the Super Regionals, so she doesn't feel like anything is going to necessarily phase them. Yes, they're young, but at this point they've seen it all. Kat Sandercock with an 0-2, and Aaliyah Andrews fouls that one away.
Yeah, and you look at their offensive numbers, and they're not hitting as high of a batting average as maybe they normally have, or as many home runs, but attributed to that really good strength of schedule that they've played.
Said she had to keep reminding her players, this is not the year you're going to hit 400, not the year you're going to have a sub-1 ERA. But here they are, just 2 wins away from the World Series. Andrews, a dribbler, foul. 3 consecutive foul balls from Aaliyah Andrews, the leadoff hitter for LSU. Tigers have just 1 walk so far, no hits through 3 against Sandercock. Andrews with a first base hit of the game for LSU. And the speed of Aaliyah Andrews can cause major problems now to lead off the 4th.
Sandercock working from ahead, and this pitch is just too sweet to be ahead 0-2, 1-2. She just drives it right back up the middle of the field, almost beat the shift because Danny Morgan was playing so far in left center field, and you can tell she is such a big emotional part of this LSU offense.
Where's that pitch supposed to be from Sandercock?
It was 0-2. I couldn't remember if there was 1 ball in the count. It should be a little bit more down or a little bit more in. I was surprised to see it looked like a drop ball that she was trying to throw inside. It was just too elevated and just too much on the plate.
Sierra Briggs with Sherrill playing in from 3rd. Briggs is going to square to bunt. Shelnut gives it to Sherrill, and Sydney Sherrill makes the play. 5-3 sacrifice. Briggs does her job, and Andrews moves up to 2nd.
Such a good play by Sydney Sherrill. She is able to barehand that bunt, take charge defensively to make sure that she gets the speed of Briggs out. Look how in her leg she stays to just be able to drive off of that right leg to supply the power and the arm strength to be able to get that out with the speed of Briggs.
Sherrill, the ACC Defensive Player of the Year at third. Yeah, there are two superb defensive players in this game. But we may not talk about Andrews in the field as much as Sherrill because of LSU's pitchers and their ability to keep the ball down. Sherrill probably going to get tested a lot because of Sandercock and her ability to induce ground balls. First runner to second tonight for LSU. Batter is Taylor Pleasance, the first team All-SEC shortstop. And ball one. Seven of 10 outs have been on the ground for Sandercock tonight, including Pleasance. Bounced out to second in the first. Only one strikeout.
Again, I think we'll talk about it every at-bat that Taylor Pleasance steps into the box. She's just not scared to get right on top of the plate, takes away the inside pitch, puts pressure on a pitcher to be perfect on the outside corner.
16 points higher than her regular average with runners in scoring position. The Tigers' RBI leader with a major opportunity in the fourth. And a strike on 2-0. Looked hittable.
Yeah, 2-0 count. You know that you're going to expect that outside pitch that had a lot of plate on it. I'm not sure what else you're looking for in that situation.
So what does that tell you as a pitcher?
I got away with one.
2-1. And gets the outside corner, Sandercock, for strike two.
And that's why you want to swing at that 2-0. That was a much sweeter pitch on 2-0 than what she saw on 2-1. And then Sandercock gets a little bit more off of the plate, gets the call by the umpire. But that pitch that she just saw, that's not a good pitch to hit. The pitch before, that's the one you want.
You want to go back out there now if you're Sandercock?
I don't think you have another choice.
Pleasance in the air to center field. Morgan at the wall. She's got just enough room. Andrews will motor to third. A long and loud second out for Taylor Pleasance.
Sandercock in this inning is putting the ball too much over the plate. She'll have some good pitches, but then she'll have some big misses like this. Up in the zone, belt high, she barrels it up, almost gets it out of here. That is such a sweet pitch. Surprised that Pleasance didn't hit that one out. Good play by Danny Morgan.
Fighting the sun in a stadium that's new to her. Well, Florida State now holding opponents to 1 for 12 in the NCAA tournament, runners in scoring position, and that's after a 1-for-1 start against them. So 11 consecutive outs the Seminoles have induced with runners in scoring position. Going to be a hard 12th consecutive one to get. Amanda Doyle, who was 5 for 15, drove in 7 in the regionals for LSU. Andrews at third. And Doyle hits one off the end of the bat to right field. Harding comes on and takes away a hit and a run. Kaylee Harding a stumble and then a robbery.
I thought this was just a routine fly ball to right field, and then Harding makes it interesting, takes a couple of steps back, has to rebound forward, but she still catches it, and honestly, that's all that matters.
Well, if you haven't watched the Oklahoma Sooners this year, now is time. They scored, this is in a softball game, 24 runs on Sunday. Beat Wichita State 24-7 to move on to the Super Regional round, the #1 overall seed in the country. And they're going to face Gabby Plain of the Washington Huskies. Game 2 Our first ever college softball game on ABC. We could not be more excited. 3 Eastern, 2 Central Saturday, Oklahoma and Washington. In the second of a 3-game set. Our sport has grown so much year in and year out, and this is a pretty monumental step forward.
Huge. Just our sport continues to grow in so many different ways, and this is just one example. So if you're around a TV, watch it. If you're not around, record it.
Yeah, just turn it on. Just leave it running.
Yes.
And it's going to be an outstanding series. We think Washington the 16th seed, but a team that a lot of folks think was the most underseeded team in the country. They have Gabby Plain, National Player of the Year finalist. Carson Sabi, the pinch hitter, against Sinceri here in the 5th, and takes strike 2.
Yeah, Gabby Plain with tremendous movement. The ball just tends to disappear. A hitter thinks it's going to be where it ends up moving away from. It just would be a really great matchup.
Sabi pinch hitting for Anna Shelnut with a 2-2 count against Sinceri. 8-9-1 for the Seminoles in the 5th. Each team got a runner in scoring position in the 4th. Florida State with 1 hit in every inning. LSU with a hit and a walk. Sandra Cock and Sinceri, sensational. 3-2. Sabi just 5 at-bats on the year. And a bouncer here to first, and a fair ball for out number 1.
Kevin, Shelby Sinceri's changeup has been so good in this game. It's been effective to get swings and misses and a couple of strikeouts. Also been able to work it earlier in counts, just giving Florida State hits all throughout their at-bat. It's so hard for them to pick up. The only hitter who's picked it up has been Devin Flaherty. She's been mixing it so well.
Josie Muffley, a first pitch single. Do you think that has to do at all with Flaherty seeing the ball better as a lefty?
Yeah, it could. I just, she went down to first base and said something immediately to Coach Alameda, and maybe they've already started to pick it a little bit in the Florida State dugout. The other one just maybe haven't quite gotten used to it, and she was on it, but that was huge for them. And then since then, not been able to get anything going since.
Muffley on the ground. Pleasance, her counterpart at short, throws her out.
Taylor Pleasance moves so well. She has such long strides, long arms when she just rips the ball out of her hand. She covers so much ground, and she has so much range because of how tall she is as well for her height. 6 foot.
Not a lot of 6 feet shortstop in the game. And we asked Beth Torina about her. She said, I can't compare her to anyone we've ever had as a person. She outworks everyone. Send a group text. She'll answer it first.
Yeah, and one of the things that she realized she had to do when she got here is that she came from this 24/7 mindset and have to work every hour of every day, but she realized she gotta work smarter, not harder. She would put in just unnecessary reps just to do it. She's figured out how to work hard and make it worth it.
Kaylee Mudge fouls away, strike 2. And Taylor will go to retrieve it. And a rare errant throw by Taylor Pleasance, who airmailed Sinceri off to the Florida State dugout.
Well, somebody in the LSU bullpen was making her laugh a little bit, cutting up, and then she looked back at them after she airmailed that throw like, that was your fault.
Mary Beth Gorsuch loose out there, as is Allie Koponen. And strike 3 looking. A 1-2-3 fit for Sinceri, her first 1-2-3 inning of the game.
This is a Shelby Sinceri special. Drop ball on the outside corner after she mixed in a nasty changeup. Shelby Sinceri has made the adjustments, and she's feeling it with her catcher.
Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. We expected a pitcher's duel tonight, and we have got one. Shelby Sinceri, Catherine Sandercock have combined for 9 half innings of scoreless softball.
Loving it. Both pitchers doing a good job, throwing a lot of strikes, not a ton of free passes. In fact, you don't have any, just one.
Look, we're on TV. Wave.
You get so excited. You realize we were on TV to start the game too, right?
What? Nobody told me that. Georgia Clark grounds out. This has got to be like manna from heaven from you right now. You got a pitcher's duel, scoreless through 5th, and the two-way pitcher has a walk in her only plate appearance. And you're in person. Is there anything more you could want right now, Amanda Scarborough?
I can't think of anything. Maybe some gumbo, jambalaya. I mean, we are in Baton Rouge after all.
You want that now, though, in the 5th?
Yeah, I've been known to eat some jambalaya here before during the game.
You've eaten jambalaya during the game?
Yeah.
That's very dangerous. You are the veteran in the booth, so I'll cede to you. But I'll wait for postgame there. Gutierrez back in the game and takes ball 1 low. Gutierrez batting after Stewart had come in to play left. Again, this is what Beth Torina calls the outfield switcheroo. They take Gutierrez out, improve the defense, and bring her back in to hit. And Gutierrez does hit into left center field. Mudge is there. 3 pitches, 2 outs for Kat Sandercock in the 5th.
Up next for LSU, pitcher number 27, Shelby Sinceri.
What a place to watch a ball game.
Love it.
Tiger Park, 13th year, 2,600 plus seats. Most of them filled tonight. Strike 1, 2, Sinceri. 13th meeting, LSU and Florida State. 6-6 tie. LSU winners in the Supers in 2017, Florida State in 2018. This is essentially the Super rubber match.
I like that.
Yeah, bragging rights. Ultimate bragging rights. 2019, LSU went out in this round to Minnesota, Florida State to Oklahoma State. No postseason last year, and here they are again.
I think too the fans are here because they've had to wait so long to get here. And over 700 days since the Super Regional game.
Ken, these are best of 3s. Regionals last week, double eliminations with 4 teams. Super Regionals, 1 game tonight, 1 tomorrow, 1 Saturday if we're tied at 1. And with these teams and the way they've gone about it the last few years, there's a good chance we'll be tied at 1 going into Saturday.
If history repeats itself.
Remember, both times the winner of Game 1 has gone on to lose the series. Florida State won Game 1 in 2017. Lost the next 2, 1-0, 6-4. LSU won 6-5 in 2018. Noles won 2 games in 1 day on their way to the World Series title. Sinceri strikes out. 5 zeros for Sinceri, 5 zeros for Sandercock.
Kevin, this is when you know a pitch is going to get a strikeout. You throw it off the plate, and you just start to walk off the field because you know she's going to swing and miss it.
Welcome in. Chris Butt and Jen Schroeder here in our Bristol studios. Jen, we knew it would be a pitching duel between Sinceri and Sandercock. What is it going to take to get some offense going?
To me, it's going to be the clutch hitting. Someone's got to step up big for their team and get it done.
Well, so excited. We will be here. We will, after this game is over, take it to the 9:30 hour previewing Virginia Tech and UCLA. We'll also get you set for all the other super regional matchups. That's coming up after this game. Back out to Amanda, Kevin, and Jalen.
Chris, Jen, just try to be in the DoubleTree by midnight tonight, would you? Great to have you two back in studio after an awesome week of 7 innings live last weekend.
Yeah.
No score through 5 here. And Sydney Sherrill to lead it off in the 6th against Shelby Sinceri. And Sherrill takes ball 1. Another switcheroo defensively here for LSU. Taryn Antoine into the game to play right field. Sierra Briggs has gone back from right to left. And Raylene Gutierrez has gone to first. So Georgia Clark out for the moment.
Outfield switcheroo is in full effect. And that was something that Coach Tarina told us that they actually figured out during the Florida regular season series. They just looked at their roster and said, they're like, God, we have so many good outfielders and so much depth in the outfield. We have to be able to find a way to use all these different players. And so the one thing that you need to know about our sport is that if you are in the starting lineup, that you can exit the game and re-enter the game. But if you are not one of the 10 or 9 starting players, that once you go in and out, you're burned.
Sydney Sherrill with a leadoff base hit. Sherrill, a .515 hitter, leading off innings, and she is aboard for Florida State to start the 6th.
You can tell that Sydney Sherrill is just having fun playing the game, going up to the plate with confidence. So a little bit of a bleeder that gets through the infield, but that's all she needed. Can you believe that she was hitting over 500 to lead off innings?
I can only because our statistician put it up. And I believe anything Mike Notaro puts on a whiteboard. But it is amazing. It is one of many amazing stats in the amazing career of Sydney Sherrill. The all-time doubles leader in ACC history. Tied the NCAA record 3 years ago, 29. And after a slow start this year, she has heated up in the second half. Kaylee Harding now with the ball and a strike.
Well, and I think the one thing that makes you feel uneasy about this Florida State team, you can look at their batting average as a team, 263 batting average, and then they're only 41 home runs. But when you look at their lineup, you think, when is this offense going to wake up? Could it be in this game? Could it be against me?
Sinceri with a tight pitch for a swinging second strike. And that pitch number is eye-opening in the 6th inning at only 65. Last weekend, Florida State had a game where Kaylin Arnold threw 33 in the first alone. 66 miles per hour on pitch, 66 as Harding fights it off. First day of a potential 4 super regional action. Don't forget the big one on ABC. Saturday, 3 Eastern, 2 Central. Number 1 Oklahoma, number 16 Washington. 2 of the 3 Player of the Year finalists in the nation. Jocelyn Otto for the Sooners and Gabby Plain for the Huskies. Sherrill with a jump start towards second, stopped and went back, and Cummins almost yanked the throw. That's when it's nice to have a 6-foot shortstop.
Yeah, I think Sherrill actually expected this changeup to be in the dirt and get away from Cummins. That's what she was looking for, that aggressive base running, just trying to take an extra 60 feet, but she caught it.
Trying to pull a Javi Baez. Harding off the end of the bat into center. Aggressive from Sherrill. She's going to go first to third on Andrews and take it. Florida State puts runners at the corners. Back-to-back base hits, Sherrill and Harding, and the Noles are cooking in the 6th.
2 two-strike hits already in this inning for Florida State. Harding got a ton of inside pitches, but then they went on the outside corner, and it was not outside enough, especially against her when she was getting jammed. I just don't know why they went to the outside corner where she could barrel it up, and Sydney Sherrill, because it was hit to the right side, able to take first to third.
Jalen, you have more?
Right before this inning, you guys, I kid you not, Coach Alameda and some of the girls went through the dugout and did what they call a scratch and run, scratch and run, scratch and run, and just scratching each other and saying scratch and run. And so I don't know, but it looks like it kind of worked to get the bats going.
The scratch and run?
Scratch and run.
Okay.
I even got a little scratch, so I don't know what's going on.
So we have the scratch and run for LSU, and then for FSU, and the outfield switcheroo for LSU. Very technical.
And now the fans are just going at it, so we don't know what's going on down here. It's mayhem.
Yes, it is.
It is mayhem. Capital M-A-Y, Jalen. The 100 seats allotted to Florida State have been filled and feel like about 500 right now. Well, this is the best opportunity for either team tonight. And the cleanup hitter, Elizabeth Mason, in her 189th career start and 200th career game, will bat. Mason, a first pitch pop-up. And a huge out for Sinceri.
What a big out.
Cassidy Davis. Ball one.
I know that Davis leads the team in home runs with 9, but I don't know. I think it'd be so cool just to lay down a squeeze here, just down the first baseline with the left-handed Gutierrez, Sydney Sherrill with wheels at third.
They are playing pretty tight, so they're thinking the same as you. Davis does not have a sac bunt this year, but Gutierrez was moving in on that pitch. Plum count here on 2-0. Cassidy swinging away. High into right field. Is it deep enough? Antoine's got it. Sherrill's coming home. Save! The helmet flies off as Sydney Sherrill brings in the first run of the game. A sacrifice fly from Cassidy Davis.
And she's able to sit on that changeup, the pitch that we've seen so many Florida State swings and misses at. But she gets enough of it to hit it in the air to the outfield to Antoine, who has that moment every outfielder dreams of getting to try to throw it to home plate and getting that runner at third base. Great throw, but Sydney Sherrill just gets in there. And the tag, just a little late.
Well, the outfield switcheroo almost defeated the scratch and run there. Antoine's first inning in the game, and she delivered a bazooka to the plate. But Sherrill just fast enough to scratch across run number 1 in game 1. Devin Flaherty 1 for 2. Harding still at first. There goes Harding on her way to second base, and she's going to get in there. She started her slide very early, but the throw from Cummins was not online.
Yeah, and this could have been a bad collision. Good pitch to run on low in the zone on the outside corner. And she did start it early, almost didn't make it to second base.
That's Harding's 10th steal of the year. She becomes the 7th Florida State player with 10 stolen bases. .107 now for the Seminoles as a team, 7th in the country coming in. Harding was talking to Lonnie Alameda after that fly ball. Wonder if it was about not tagging up, but she gets to second anyway. And 3-2 now for Flaherty.
Yeah, I think it was. I think you're exactly right, but been able to see the speed pay off with Sherrill going first and third. And to be able to score on that not too deep sacrifice fly.
What are you looking for here if you're Flaherty?
A good change up. Even though she hit it, I'd still go with it. Oh, I was thinking from the pitcher's mindset, not the hitter's. Sorry.
Okay.
I tend to do that.
I know you do tend to do that.
I know, sorry. But they love to throw her on the inside corner with drop balls. I've seen Flaherty get thrown that way throughout the season, so you can tell they're trying to stay on that inside corner for a couple of pitches. Maybe go there again.
That was down and in, and Flaherty fights it off. Seen a lot of that this year. We're talking to Beth Torino about that, the way that the game evolves and how pitchers have really pounded the inside part of the zone. 8 pitch coming. An outside pitch hit to Doyle at third and ends the inning. There is a run. Yes, Virginia, there is a run. A sacrifice fly from Cassidy Davis, scoring Sydney Sherrill. All smiles for the Seminoles. Well, losing game 1 isn't exactly a death knell in this series. Florida State won game 1 in 2017. LSU, behind Allie Walljasper, came back and won the next 2, advancing to what is, to this point, their latest Women's College World Series. 2018, Jesse Warren supplied the power. Florida State won 8-5 in 11 innings on a Warren home run, and then 3-1 en route to a World Series victory after losing game 1. So the team that's lost game 1 the last 2 years has won the series, but you'd still like to get it, statistically speaking. And Florida State just 1 for 9 runners on base. The one, a hit from Harding, advancing Sherrill to third in the 6th. And a Davis sacrifice fly has compelled home the only run of the game. 8-9-1 for LSU in the 6th. Morgan Cummins starts it off against Catherine Sandercock.
Been able to tell the second time through the order that LSU's been making some adjustments, putting more balls in the air, trying to get the bottom half of the ball. Had a ton of ground ball outs their first time through. Being able to make adjustments on that Cat Sandercock drop ball.
So how does LSU adjust to it?
I think it's just the mindset of knowing that the ball is going to be dropping and literally focusing on getting the bottom half of the ball to create more line drives or deep fly balls that find gaps. This LSU offense is an offense that's capable of power.
Cummins had a stretch of 3 straight games with a home run last month against Kentucky, and a fly ball here to right. Harding is there for the first out in the bottom of the 6th. Our bracket brought to you by Capital One. Coming up after our game, second in a Thursday doubleheader. Just a little taste before all 8 regionals play tomorrow. Virginia Tech and number 2 UCLA. Arizona, Arkansas, Kentucky, Alabama also on the bottom half of the bracket. They will get going tomorrow night. Danica Coffey in the 9th spot. Strike 1. 22 consecutive scoreless innings now for Florida State as a staff. Sandercock threw 7 innings of 1-hit ball on Sunday to win the regional. 5 1/3 of 1-hit ball today.
You can tell that their pitching staff and their defense have just been in a really good place. A deeper pitching staff of being able to use Kaylin Arnold, a transfer from Tennessee, and also Danielle Watson, another transfer on their staff. Give them some depth.
Ronnie Alameda's had some good luck with a couple of big-name transfers in recent years. Of course, Kylie Hansen helped lead him to the national title 3 seasons ago. Coffey a ground out to third, her first time. Trying to get on and set the table for Aaliyah Andrews at the top of the order. And Florida State will come together. Pitch number 70, Sandercock on to Coffey. That's into left field, sending Mudge back. She was playing shallow, but she gets there for the second out.
tell you what, we talk a lot about Florida State's infield, but Danny Morgan and Kaylee Mudge have gone back on a couple of balls in this game and just played it perfectly. Drop steps, is kind of having her left hand out there, just knowing that the wall is going to be somewhere because she traveled so far for it, but being really comfortable out in the outfield and getting their pitcher a couple of outs in this game.
Only her 13th start of the year, Kaylee Mudge, on the 5th fly ball to the outfield. Now Aaliyah Andrews in a bunt foul.
And here that fun matchup comes to play. Usually you're talking about the pitcher versus the hitter, but we're talking about Andrews versus Cheryl, the third baseman. Andrews trying to lay down that bunt. Tess Sandercock and also Tess Cheryl, who's playing about halfway up the line right now. She's not scared to get in your face.
She's practically in her shorts. Ground out in the first, single in the fourth for Andrews. 268th game of her career. Second among active players. And leads all active Division I players in steals. A line drive right to Cheryl. How's that for defensive positioning?
I'm telling you, Sydney Cheryl is not scared to get in your face. Playing the hot corner, that ball got on her in a hurry. She's able to make that last out.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Third meeting in the last 4 postseasons between Florida State and LSU, all in the Super Regionals. 2017, Florida State won the first game, LSU the next 2. 2018, LSU won the first game, Florida State the next 2. The Seminoles made a living in elimination games that year. Lost the first game in the Women's College World Series as well, and then ran roughshod through the competition in Oklahoma City, swept Washington in the finals and won their national championship. Game 1 of a potential 3 here, best of 3. Winner of this game can head to Oklahoma City early with a sweep tomorrow. Same time, 7 Eastern, 6 Central tomorrow night. ESPN 2 tomorrow. Danny Morgan, high, not terribly deep. And Briggs is there for the first out. What a game by Shelby Sinceri, who is currently on the losing side of a 1-0 score, but has struck out 3, has not walked a batter, and has scattered 6 hits, all of them singles.
She's been a rock for them, and you've seen her adjust as a game has gone on, because the way that Florida State was swinging the bat against her in the first inning, it didn't look like she was going to last long.
Shelnut pops out. And we weren't sure, Amanda, if it was going to be Sinceri or Allie Kilponen who actually leads the Tigers with a 1.92 ERA. Kilponen threw both games on Sunday against Louisiana, but Beth Torina turning to her experience as Kilponen hangs out the bullpen. And I know they're losing, but it's looked like a good decision.
Yeah, it's nice to have 2 choices for both of these staffs. Actually, they don't just lean on one pitcher and try to throw them every game. They have deep pitching staff that they believe in.
2 strikes on Muffley. To right field. What a night for Shelby Sinceri. 7 innings of 1-run ball. Hoping her offense can pick her up. 2, 3, 4 hitters in the bottom of the 7th next. What an atmosphere it's been tonight at Tiger Park. But despite all of the cheers of the LSU faithful. Their Tigers have just one hit, one walk through 6 innings against Florida State's Catherine Sandercock, who in her last start on Sunday threw a one-hit shutout against UCF to send Florida State to the Super Regionals. A pitcher that Ronnie Alameda told us is very analytical. She wants to know every number. She wants to know every stat. She will compete with anything, a machine or people, as competitive as anyone on this Florida State team. And she has competed her heart out tonight.
And only thrown 73 pitches. So efficient, been able to get ahead of hitters, be around the zone, limit her free passes.
Just 10 pitches in the 6th, 8 pitches in the 5th, getting more efficient as the night has gone on. Facing 2, 3, and 4 in the LSU lineup. And Sierra Briggs starts it with a base hit. The tying run on board. The winning run will bat with nobody out.
Briggs goes up looking early, and Sandercock has made some mistakes, but LSU has yet to make her pay for it, and Briggs able to get a mistake, a rise ball that didn't get up enough. She gets the top of it, and she gets a hit.
A 500 hitter in the NCAA tournament, and a great stolen base threat aboard at first. Taylor Pleasance, the winning run. Pleasance came oh so close to hitting it out of here in her last at-bat. A fly ball to the wall in center in the 4th. There's a bunt foul from LSU's RBI leader, 1-1.
Well, the one thing that you notice about Sandercock's stats, Kev, is the fact that her ERA coming this game, 1.15, but she's only given up 18 extra base hits and 140 innings pitched coming into this game. Because she keeps the ball down, it's hard to barrel her up and elevate her, find the gaps, and to find home runs, only giving up 6.
One ball, 2 strikes to Pleasance. Feels like 2 years worth of tension and drama is being unleashed in the first Super Regional game since 2019. The purple and gold ready to explode. 1-2. A ground ball, and Sandercock will go to first. The tying run, Briggs to second with 1 away.
Smart play by Sandercock, and a ball that took her toward first base, understanding that Briggs, one of the fastest players in the lineup, is going to be able to get a good jump, see the ball down, and she wasn't going to have a play at second base, but she did get a play at 1.
Now the 2 best run producers in the regional, Doyle, who drove in 7, followed by Clark, who drove in 6. Ground out to second, and a line out to right field tonight for Amanda Doyle. 262nd start of her career tonight. And a first pitch attack, a line drive to third. Sherrill had no play at second because Flaherty was off the bag. A well-hit ball that could have tied the game, but found Sid Sherrill's glove.
Just prime example that this is a game of inches, and to win the postseason, you have to have a little bit of luck. If this ball gets past Sydney Sherrill, it's extra bases, but see how she's positioned a little bit off the line. She is in the perfect spot to be able to grab that in the air for an out instead of a hit.
Georgia Clark will re-enter and swing it after Sherrill records maybe the penultimate out of the game. We say maybe because Georgia Clark can match. 2 home runs, drove in 6 in the regionals. Beg your pardon, 1 home run in the regionals, but 5 hits, 3 walks, 6 RBIs. The go-ahead hit In the first inning on Sunday, Game 7 against Louisiana, and try to tie it or win it here on Thursday night. Oh, 1. Strike 2.
Little soccer over there with Coach.
Beth Torina is thinking about a windmill right now in her third base coach position.
Yes, she is.
Sander Cock of the Seminoles, 1 strike away. The redshirt sophomore on 0-2. A ground ball softly hit. Florida State will let this one roll foul. She told us, Kat Sandercock, I always freak out the first inning and then I settle down. Have those good nerves. She has shown almost no nerves tonight. 82 pitches deep and 1 strike and 1 out to get. In the air right side, that will go foul.
And fans wanted that one so bad. Ooh, I'm nervous.
If you're at home and you don't have a rooting interest in this game, I suspect you're nervous too. What's going through Sandercock's mind right now?
Just make a pitch. I'm ahead, just make a pitch. I'm in control right now in an 0-2 count with 2 outs.
Sandercock makes her pitch, but Clark gets a piece. Three 2-strike foul balls from Georgia Clark. Pitch number 6 coming. And ball number 1.
It's a good take. It's hard as a hitter when you start to just get into that swing mode with 2 strikes to trust yourself to take that pitch. Good take by Clark to stay in this AB.
The tying run at second is Briggs, one of LSU's fastest runners. Inside for ball 2.
Love the pitch call to go low and away with the drop ball that Clark took, and then go hard inside with the fastball that just off the plate inside.
And a Shellnut, so much experience behind the plate. Trying to guide Sandercock through it. Winner of this game is 1 win from the World Series. 2-2. On the ground right side, Flaherty to first, and Florida State has a Game 1 win. A 2-hit shutout for Catherine Sandercock. And the Super Regional debut for the 2021 Noles is a memorable one in Baton Rouge. Florida State is 1 win from the World Series.
You give me goosebumps when you say that one win away from the best place to play in college softball, Oklahoma City at the Women's College World Series. Kat Sandercock pitched a gem, but the thing is, this Florida State defense is the real deal. Their outfield showed up, their infield showed up. They were here to support her and put a 0 on the board and keep LSU off the board.
All hugs and all smiles at the Florida State dugout, and Catherine Sandercock helped out by our Capital One rewarding performer, Sydney Sherrill. Just another tremendous night on one of the all-time great careers in Florida State history. 2 hits. She goes first to third on the Kaylee Harding single in the 6th. And the mad dash on the Cassidy Davis sacrifice fly. The only Florida State run, and by the way, she was aces in the field as well. The ACC Defensive Player of the Year was spotless, and she is with our Jalen Johnson.
Thanks, guys. Sydney, congratulations. What did you see on that pitch that you got to help bring Cassidy in for the score?
Yeah, I mean, she pitched a great game. We were battling all night, and, I knew they were coming inside on me. Got a couple away for strikes, and, I just stuck to my plan. I knew I was going to get in, and it worked out. And Cassie, came up with a big hit, and that was awesome. And we've been really working on situational hitting all year, and it's come through in big games. And, we played like we knew we could, and I'm proud of us, and I'm ready to go play good tomorrow, too.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Yes,
I know
you're
excited. You're fine. You're fine. What can you say about your sophomore in the circle today? Kat threw an awesome game. What does it mean to have her be so young and to perform on this stage as she did?
Yeah, I mean, she is dealing. She dealt in regionals, and we knew she would come out here and deal for us. She stayed with us the whole game. We knew our hitting was going to come through, and we just told her to keep pitching it. We were going to get those runs for her, and I'm just so proud of her. She works so hard, and, she's a star out there. I just love her so much. She's done such a great job this year, and I'm excited for what's ahead.
Now, history has shown us that taking game 1 in this series doesn't really lock you into anything between these two teams. What do you guys need to do to make sure you can come out and try to get that win to take you to OKC tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we did a good job this game of just coming out on top, getting our swings off, getting hits soon and early, and we just need to keep doing that tomorrow and be aggressive at the plate and get our good hits as we know we can. And I know whoever pitches tomorrow for us will. They're chanting.
The fans love you.
I know.
Your team loves you.
Yeah, whoever pitches for us tomorrow is going to pitch a great game. And it's going to be a dogfight. LSU's a great team, and we're just excited to be here. So thankful to be here after all that's happened with COVID and everything. So
thank you so much, Sydney. Congratulations. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Hey, she makes such a great point. There is such a level of gratitude that we've been able to appreciate all year from these players who had their 2020 ripped away and are having twice as much fun, it seems,